Welcome to part 2 of our cord cutting 101 series, where we're going to do our best to answer many of the questions and concerns I hear from people about getting started in cord cutting. Hopefully, through this series of videos, it'll make it easy to become a cord cutter. If you want to see this in writing, head over to cordcuttersnews.com. Look at the top on the menu. There's a button right there on the menu that says Cord Cutting 101. Click on that and you'll find a written guide that walks through all the points that we're going to cover and helps you become a cord cutter. Also, if you haven't seen part 1, the Getting Started video, recommend you check that out. I'll put a link somewhere right about here. You can click on the video, head over there and see that. But one thing I want to recap that's going to be helpful in this video is you really need to sit down and write down a list of the shows you want to watch before you become a cord cutter. Here are the shows that I like, my roommate, my spouse, my kids like, and I want to be able to watch as a cord cutter. Not the channels. I don't want to see any channels on there. Don't write Spike TV, Discovery, or Disney on there, because you don't want the channel, you want the shows on it. Even with something like Disney Channel, you don't want the Disney Channel, you want the Disney shows. And many of them are on services like Hulu. Hulu has got Spike TV. They just signed a new deal with Disney to bring Disney Junior, regular Disney. All the Disney TV shows are going to be much more prevalent over on Hulu. Many of the stuff is the next day, like ABC, Fox, NBC, Spike TV, FX. They put that stuff on there the next day. Spike TV, I love watching Bar Rescue. You know, I don't really care that's on Spike. I care that I watch Bar Rescue. Next day on Hulu, included with my subscription. So we're going to talk about services. And services as a cord cutter are like channels we're on cable. For example, when somebody moving from a Windows computer to a Mac computer, things may be a little different, but it's all there. Your menus are in a different spot, your buttons may be in a little different place, or look different at least, but it all works, it's all there. You just kind of have to learn a little bit of the differences between a Windows computer and a Mac. Same thing with cord cutting. Hey, the content's there, but instead of turning, in my case, to channel 5 for Fox, I have to now go, oh, you know, I want to watch Fox, and I want to watch it online, so I'm going to go to Hulu. Or I want to watch CBS, I'm going to go to CBS All Access, HBO, HBO Now, the list goes on. It's like services or channels, and that's how you have to look at it. You got to relearn what shows are on what channels or services. I do have to stop here and kind of address an argument I hear for people who try to tell you cord cutting is not worth it. And that is, oh, it's going to cost you so much to subscribe to all this. They'll list like, oh, HBO Now, Showtime, Sling TV, PlayStation Vue, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. You subscribe to all that, you're going to be paying as much, if not more, than cable. There is some truth in that argument, but it ignores one big thing about cord cutting. Cord cutting is about watching your content when you want it and how you want it. Instead of having a cable company come and say, you're going to get 158 channels, and if you want the 2 things in here you want, you got to get all 158. Cord cutting allows you to pick and choose what you want. Now, most people probably have about 2 options for TV, either a satellite or a cable company. If you're lucky, you may have a 3rd or 4th option with like a U-verse type option from a phone company, and so on. Cord cutters have over 100 different services to pick from. So you can sit here and pick and choose the different services that fit what you want and kind of go through all that to build the package that best fits your needs and you as a cord cutter. There really is no one cookie cutter answer for cord cutting. I'm a big sports fan. During football season last year, Sling TV is $25 a month for their base plus sports package. You get all the ESPNs, SEC network. Hey, that was more than worth it. You know, for me as a cord cutter that loves sports, that was worth it. I would probably just subscribe during football season, cancel it when it's over. Maybe basketball season I would hang on for. And that's the great thing about cord cutting. Subscribe when you want it. Do you like Game of Thrones? You're not willing to wait until it comes out on DVD? Subscribe to HBO Now just for Game of Thrones. When it's over, go cancel it. But build your own package, how you want it, when you want it. So we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to try not to get into the weeds too much about what each service offers and doesn't. I recommend you check out that Cord Cutting 101 post. I do go into detail a little bit more. I'm going to be updating that, adding a few more services that have come out since I posted that. But I wanted to talk to you about the idea of, hey, okay, so I've got my list of shows. I understand I don't need all the streaming services now, but what ones do I need? Where do I look? What do I get? So I'm going to kind of give you a guide there to get started picking all the services that fit you. The first thing I would do is take advantage of the free trials. Pretty much every cord cutting service will allow a free trial. Some are a week, some are 14 days, some are a full month of free service. So I recommend going there and trying it out. You're not risking anything to use a free service. Just remember to cancel when it's done. So check that out. Take advantage of the free services and have your list next to you. Like, hey, Game of Thrones, HBO Now. Bar Rescue, Simpsons, Family Guy, they're all on Hulu. The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Hulu. The America's Got Talent, Hulu. The list goes on and on there. It's all available with these services. The next thing I would kind of recommend is keeping an open mind a little bit here and exploring. I think often people get locked in that these are the 5 shows I want, and if I can't find it on a subscription service, well then it's just not there. There's 2 other ways to get shows other than like a Hulu and a Netflix or a Sling TV type option. And that is with an antenna. Many shows like CBS shows are available with an antenna. Over 90% of Americans will be able to pick up over their broadcasts of the big networks, ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS. The other option is a season pass. You say, well, that costs $20 or $30. That's a lot of money up front. Well, if you say, okay, that's a lot of money up front, but I used to pay $110 to DirecTV. That was my cost when I canceled cable, or in my case, satellite, to become a cord cutter. And I would pay that every month. If you look at shows like over 6 months during the season, that means I paid $600 to watch that show on DirecTV, if I was just looking for that one. I go to Amazon, I buy it for $20. Now I own it for life, and the next day after it airs, it's there. Over 6 months, that's not a lot of money. So yeah, I may say, hey, I dropped $30 today, or I dropped $20 there to subscribe to a whole season. I've been subscribing to American Dad and TBS, like that show, and now that's on TBS, I get it on Amazon. So keep that in mind. An antenna is a good option to watch it free over there, and a season pass on like iTunes or Amazon is another option. Best part of both of those latter ones is you own them, and that will always be there. I like we have all the King of the Hill episodes. We'll often go back and rewatch them. Really enjoy just kind of having that on as background noise, and that's a great option to watch it since it's not on Sling TV and not on Hulu. Really, I find I only buy 1 or 2 seasons a year nowadays, because most of the content is on Hulu, is on Sling TV, is on PlayStation Vue, and so forth. I know the next question I'm going to get is Sling TV versus PlayStation Vue, SFN TV, Hulu, and YouTube, many other places, DirecTV are all coming out with other live TV services that will bring you live streams of cable channels. And some of them even offer local channels. So now you're saying, okay, which one of these is the best? I want to tell you right now, neither one of them is the best. They're both the best for different people, for different reasons. They both have their pluses and minuses. Sling TV will give you, depending on what channel is, 1 stream simultaneous or 3 streams so you can watch at the same time. The downside or upside to it is, yeah, it may not be the 5 streams at once that PlayStation Vue uses, but with Sling TV, wherever I am, it's available. If you're a business person like I am, you travel a lot, that's a great option. If you're at home and you don't really care about watching the service itself outside the house, PlayStation Vue is a great one. They both have certain channels that the other service doesn't have. Some will offer Fox News, others will offer different sports channels. Some have CBS News, NBC Sports, and CBS Sports, where the other one won't. So try both. Really sit down with that list again and pick the one that best fits you. I can't stress this enough. None of these services are perfect for everybody. They all will have their pluses and minuses that will really come down to what you want. And that's the great part of cord cutting. Pick the ones you want. And my last tip is give it some time. Don't rush into this. It took my family about 2 weeks to pick out all the shows I really wanted.